We're raising the next generation of world-conquering founders from Japan. In the last 10 years, the Japanese startup ecosystem has developed a lot. VC funding has 10x in the last 10 years. If you go to any taxi in Tokyo, you will see startup commercials running on the small screen. If you look at the Japanese cabinet, it has a startup minister in it. Basically, every local government or so recently has a startup program. Startups have developed so much in the last 10 years, and it seems like startups are close to getting mainstream. We are building an international terminal of startups. We're going to take the best of Japan to the world, and as a byproduct also maybe create an interesting place to get into Japan. But first and foremost, a runway that helps the most promising Japanese founders and startups build a truly global business. And what we hope to achieve is that there's currently 5 companies in the world that are worth $1 trillion or more. Hopefully we can create a few trillion-dollar companies in Japan as well. We're industry agnostic, but we focus on anything that has high growth potential and huge economic impact. If you look at what kind of industries might be in Japan recently, it could be one of the deep tech sectors, it could be AI. What we want to unleash is, especially with these technically gifted founders or deep tech companies, we want to give them the global ambition. We want to show them that people around the world are no smarter than them, and people who made this world are all the same. It's just about guts and attitude. We were just creating this positive bubble where these things can happen and make that bubble larger every year. Japan is a very highly developed society. There's a lot of things that are right in Japan. There isn't a critical infrastructural element that I think is missing from this $1 trillion company future. The main thing that is required is just having more people who are crazy enough to believe that they could do it. There isn't any role models for people who aspire to build a major software giant. Isn't something that Japan has built yet globally. There's locally big software giants. Software is so much more complicated to sell, and it's very high intensive in communication. Japanese education level is high, and I've seen actually a lot of Japanese people speak good English. I just want to build this culture that nobody needs to aim to be like Shakespeare. Simple language should be enough when you just have enough attitude and kind of confidence there. And that's what we'd want to give to the founders and the ecosystem. All the building blocks are already there, and the things that need help or improvement are mostly here. Me and the team, we have the right tools to help with that. You create this kind of ecosystem or community in the Japanese startup space. There's some sort of positive vibe. Something is in the water, is how the saying goes. And with some small things, we could create this positive spiral. A phrase I like to use is, I think Japanese tech is getting closer to this Otani Shohei moment. Japanese startups are getting close to their Otani Shohei moment. He's one of the players in the American League who is not only respected in Japan, but he dominates over there as well. The time is right for Japanese software companies to slowly enter the stage is set for these companies that could get a bigger pie globally in their own vertical. I think that is inevitable. I just want to speed that up, and that's what we're doing with Takeoff Tokyo.